Greg is your instructor today.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon, City of Austin Small Business Development. It's a beautiful day in Austin, Texas. Is everybody ready to get found on Google? Yes. All right. It's an exciting time to be on the internet and marketing on the internet. And as we teach these classes, and as I teach these classes, I truly believe that business owners, by being a little bit proactive, can grow their business online. I've yet to be proven wrong on that. So many business owners I run into these days in my own businesses aren't proactive online in their internet marketing, because that's basically what we're talking about, internet marketing. And I just see an opportunity for those business owners that are proactive, so I really commend you all for coming to classes like this and learning a little bit more. One thing that I like to tell people is that in the beginning of the class is that I am not trying to turn the business owners in this room into website designers. I mean, we all have businesses to run. You're going to see some examples of my own businesses that I run. But what I hope to do is give you enough information that you can work with your internet consultants, whether that be an internet marketing expert, a web designer, and make no mistake, those are two separate fields. Just because somebody can design a website doesn't mean that they can market your business online. We'll learn a little bit more about that. But maybe you have a graphic artist that's going to design your website. Maybe you have an SEO expert, copy editor, or your business consultant. Because if you're not having that two-way conversation with the person that's developing your website, you're probably going to get a templated website that doesn't have a lot to do with your business. And what we're going to be talking about today is the free stuff. We're going to go over some simple tips. There's 101 tips in the book that I wrote. We don't have time to go over all those. But we're going to pick, kind of what's working right now, some of the hot topics. We're going to cover some late-breaking news that's not even in the book. And at the very end, we're doing something new this time, is because we're realizing the power of blogging. We should all have blogs on our website, our business websites. We're going to have a little bit about Facebook. This is not a blog class, and it's not a Facebook class, but we can't, we're talking about internet marketing, so we ought to touch on that. We'll have time for questions and answers, and please do ask questions as we go along. It's going to move at a pretty fast pace to get to all the points, but we do have time for questions. And make a note. You don't really have to take a lot of notes here, but I'm going to ask you to write down a few things. And one thing I want you to write down is this website, because you can go there and download the slides for this presentation. That is the website, which is the acronym for my book. It's the website for the book. So that is where all these slides I'm showing you can download it as a PDF. You do have, speaking of making notes, you do have in your packet there, you have yours is double-sided. There are some points we're going to go over today and some blank lines under there so you can make your notes. So these are like the main points. So, a little bit about my background. I grew up in Houston, Texas, and our family had a couple of Ace Hardware stores. I went on to work for Ace Corporate for 10 years. I had pretty much the whole state of Texas helping other business owners grow their businesses. And my title was retail consultant. I also worked for AT&T for 6 years, selling print and internet advertising for AT&T, website design services. Been on the internet since '89. Anybody, welcome. Please just sign in back there and grab a book. All right. Anybody remember Prodigy? I'm dating ourselves here. Prodigy was the first internet service basically out there to the public. You couldn't do much on it, but in '89 I started using Prodigy and then designed my first website in '97. But I tell people I went to the school of hard knocks on this. I had to learn how to market my business and bootstrap my business, just like a lot of you probably do. And the quickest, easiest way I knew to do that was to get high ranking on Google. So what I'm going to show you is some real world examples from some of my own businesses. That's one other thing I want to promise you guys. I'm going to bring this down to the layperson level. The whole goal of this presentation in the book is to not talk over anybody's head. So I think the internet is our best marketing tool out there. I was in print advertising for years, as I showed you, but the main thing that I like about the internet is it's the only media that people are actually looking and searching for our products and services. The trick is, are they going to find us or are they going to find our competitor? That's why I really like the internet as a marketing tool. They sold over 290 million smartphones in 2010. And so the internet in our pocket, access to our business 24/7. And are they going to find us, or are they going to find our competitor? A lot of people tell me I'm not e-commerce. I don't sell products on the internet. So why do I need an internet presence? And I tell them, just because if you have a brick and mortar location, know that your customers are pre-shopping you before they come to your location. So just because you're not selling products on the internet doesn't mean that customers aren't pre-shopping you and your competitors before they get in the car and start driving around. Oh my goodness, Facebook. It's 500 million now. And there's a big debate out there whether Facebook is good for our business or not. I advertise my products on Facebook, and it's a return on investment. That's not what excites me about Facebook, folks. What excites me about Facebook is 500 million users now, all getting comfortable shopping on the internet, all getting comfortable with the internet. My 73-year-old mother joined Facebook last year, formed her own group. All right, let's get into what we're really going to talk about in the class. What is SEO? SEO is an acronym. It stands for Search Engine Optimization. And the goal of SEO is to get high ranking for the keyword or words. When we talk about keywords, this can be one word or a phrase, 3 or 4 or 2 words. But we're trying to get high ranking for what we think our customers are typing in and searching for. So that is the whole goal of SEO. And when you go to Google, a Google page, we're not talking about these sponsored links over here. Sometimes there's a bunch to the right, and sometimes there's 1 or 2 up top. What we're talking about are the 10 natural search results. That's search engine optimization. We're optimizing our website to get high ranking on Google. We want to be on page 1, that's the first goal, and then we want to be as high up on page 1 as possible. And we do that by optimizing our website for the search engines. You ever seen the little map that you get on the top? That's bullet point number 1. And folks, that's about the easiest, simplest way I know to get your business to the top. You're going to hear me talk a lot about playing Google's game. And what I mean by that is participate in all the things that Google offers. And one thing is this map. And again, it's free. Google Local Business was changed to Google Places, actually last year, but a lot of us still know it as Local Business. It's called Places now. And it Google's trying to categorize our businesses like the Yellow Pages do. Electricians, plumbers, attorneys. So that's basically, if you think about the Google Places, is categorizing businesses like Yellow Pages. This is the link to add your business. Again, play Google's game, and we'll get into little details how to do that. Yahoo has the same thing. We talk about Google a lot because they're the 10,000-pound gorilla in the middle of the room. But just know this, everything that you do for Google works on all the search engines. So anything you do to optimize your website for Google is going to work on Yahoo and Bing and any of the other search engines. We just talk about Google because they have 75% of the market. So that's that's the good news. The title meta tag is the most important. Now I promise you guys I wouldn't get too geeky on you today. These meta tags are about the geekiest thing I'm going to talk about. But don't worry, you don't have to know how to do them. You just have to know they're there. So the title meta tag, and y'all make a big note. This is the most important thing you can do on your website for search engine optimization. On page, what we call there's 2 strategies in search engine optimization. What we do on page and what we do off page. Backlinks, other people linking to your website. We're going to talk about that in a minute. This is the single most important. This is an example of my website that I sell that laptop stand on, and this is the Internet Explorer browser. But all browsers have in reverse at the top is where the title goes. That's where the title meta tag goes. Now, the big note is, y'all, for homework, go home and in 2 minutes change your title meta tag, because I'll bet you most of you have your business name up there. That is a very common mistake. This is the most valuable place to put keywords. Everybody misses this. Your competitors are missing this. You guys can own this. Why didn't I put Keynamics laptop stand up there? My company's Keynamics. Why didn't I put Keynamics laptop stand? Anybody
They may
know?
not know the name brand, they just know what they're looking for.
Nobody's searching for our company name. Google image search. I hardly hear any website designers talk about this. Go to your logo on your
Okay.
company website. I guarantee it's probably named homepage logo. Everybody has a logo for their business, right? Big Fortune 100 companies too. And go to their logo, and they've usually wasted a valuable opportunity by naming it homepagelogo.jpg. So you could go in, name it your keywords, whatever they are, about your service. Off-page, meaning things you do outside your website, and a backlink is simply another website linking back to your website. Google values that, back to that relevance thing. I mean, it kind of makes sense. The more links coming into your website, probably the more relevant or more popular you are, so they're going to give you high ranking for that. YouTube video is huge. First of all, YouTube is owned by Google. Second of all, Google is the #1 most visited website in the world. YouTube is the #3 most visited website in the world. Do y'all know what the #2 search engine behind Google is? YouTube. Remember I showed that graph up there earlier? You would think Yahoo? YouTube is a search engine of videos. It's the #2 search engine in the world. Google owns it, so know that anything we're doing on YouTube, Google's paying attention to. Google has this big umbrella of all their products, and they're just looking over everything and making the connections. When I first started talking about YouTube, people would say, well, shouldn't we be hiring a professional videographer and $10,000 videos and all that? And, you know, that's great if you want to do that, but YouTube viewers want a real-world experience. They're looking for that kind of gritty video, I call it. They want to see the owner, they want to see the employees, they want to see real world. If you don't think that YouTube is important because they're ranked #3, how many of y'all, this is a regular Google search, how many of y'all have seen them start to blend images and videos in with a regular Google search? That's called blended results, blended search results. Back to the image search thing, you know, that's the importance of that too, because they're throwing in these other search engines in the regular Google search results. The reason that Google likes and loves blogs so much is those rules and those, they're called algorithms, are computer driven. However, those computer programs are written by human beings. And those human beings happen to be Google employees, and they happen to be geeks that grew up on blogs. They live in the blog world. So that's the connection we're making. Google loves blogs. There's another aspect why Google loves blogs. Back to that fresh content thing we talked about. You make a blog post, it's immediate fresh content. We talked about playing Google's game early on and the opportunity. And I firmly believe that everybody in this room has a huge opportunity if you just get proactive about doing this. Because your competitors aren't sitting here doing it, and if you do it, you're going to be ahead of the game. You know, we talked about Google local business, Google Places, and then we talked about Google image search. We talked about YouTube. Play the game, you know, participate in all these things. I don't think we talked about anything that cost any money today, other than your time. So y'all have all got a copy of the book, and you can actually use it as a workbook. There's blank lines at the end of each chapter to make your notes. It's a great tool to use with your website designer as you make your notes in there and go work with them. I think most good website designers appreciate the interaction from their client. I mean, they want to get a good website design for you. That makes them look better. So they want that two-way conversation.